What's up, AfterBuzzers? We're back. Braxton Family Values, Season 6, Episode 9, Toni Zilla, and we're talking tours, weddings, and maybe more babies? Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural
man.
Oh, sweet Aretha Franklin.
We're gonna miss her.
It's only right we pay homage to the Queen of Soul. Gone but not forgotten. Man, this is a classic. Everything she wrote was a classic.
Everything was.
But what people don't know is that not only was she the Queen of Soul, she was also a major pioneer for the Civil Rights Movement.
Absolutely was.
So we definitely got to pay respect.
We're gonna miss you, Riri.
The original Riri.
The original Riri. Let's take that back.
The original Riri. Yeah. Aw.
Wait.
Just gotta let it marinate for a second.
It's my part.
You make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman.
Woman. Yeah.
Aww.
Oh, Riri.
I know. Sleep well, Miss Franklin.
Yes.
All right, y'all. We're back. Did you miss us?
I hope y'all did. We missed y'all.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like we've been gone too long, though.
It don't.
It was, what, maybe like three months or so?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're back. I'm Brittney Q-Hill, one of your hosts for the evening, and I would like to present a huge panel or all the returners, but we got the one that counts. Introduce yourself.
Hey, y'all. It's your boy, Jay Lamar, and I'm back and ready for this season.
Yeah.
It's going to be lit.
It's going to be lit. I mean, I hope, because based on this first episode, I don't really know what to expect. I was a little let down by this first episode, but we're going to talk about Traci and possibly her second project going on tour. We're going to talk about Toni's wedding, if that's ever going to happen. And, you know, I feel like a lot of the episode was very heavily based on not just Toni's marriage, but relationships, period. So we're going to talk about some relationship. We can get some expert advice from our expert in the building.
Hey, I'm here.
Bet you guys didn't know that you guys had a relationship expert in the building. So,
hey.
So first, what were your overall thoughts on the episode?
I do feel like it was a very dry episode, but being that I think everybody pretty much knows what happened, how the girls kind of parted ways halfway through the season. So I felt like it was very a pieced together kind of episode. And it does seem like this season is going to cater more to Traci's life and what Traci has going on, which I'm completely for because I love Traci Braxton.
Yeah.
But I am interested. I would have liked to know in episode 1 why the girls left. Maybe if they would have started episode 1 with that interaction as to what happened, the big argument, and then backtracked and said, well, this is what happened, but let's take us back to like how it all started.
Right.
So
yeah, I'm going to agree. It was very dry to me. I feel like season premiere is supposed to give you something to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? It should be an indication of what we can look forward to, but I'm lost. I'm stumped. I was a little bored, to be honest. And then we didn't see Tamar at all.
Well, we didn't see her much last season. We seen her once or twice.
True. And
that was it. I don't think that we'll see her at all this season.
You don't think so?
No.
Not at all?
I think if she
What
gives
you
us
hiding from, sis? I mean, we know that she's going through... Is she still going through a divorce?
She got a whole boyfriend.
That's right.
If you follow her social media, you see her...
A little sexy piece of chocolate.
Yeah, and then you see her post like subliminal messages about this person and everything like that. So she has a little boyfriend.
Okay, well...
She's still married, allegedly.
Maybe... We don't really know. So it would be good, Tamar, to, show your face at some point and let us know what's
popping.
What's going on. We're interested. But let's talk about Traci. All right. So Traci, she's a new grandma. She's living her best life. And not only is she a new grandma, she also has her sophomore album that's been released. And this is absolutely no shade to Traci because I commend anybody that's still going after their dreams. But I don't recall the first
album.
Album.
I don't either, but I can tell you something about this second album.
Okay.
Like the songs that I've heard and the singles that I've heard, amazing.
She got vocals?
She got she got vocals. So one of my friends actually writes for her.
Okay.
And he actually like played me a song, one of the tracks or whatever that he wrote. And I was listening to it and I'm like, who is this? Like, and he was like, guess. And I'm just like, Ella May.
Oh, she sounded like that?
I'm like, I don't know who this is. And he was like, that's Traci Braxton. I'm like, yo, this a banger right here. This a hit.
Really?
Yes. And I think it was like maybe like 12 tracks on the CD that I heard, maybe a little bit less. Okay. I think I heard like 5 or 6 like, whoa. So Traci making a comeback.
Good enough to carry a tour by herself? Like she doesn't need
no, I would say she would be a good, because it's her sophomore album, you know, we still treat her like a sophomore album. Yeah. She would be a good opening act for somebody. Okay. Or I would go see her down at like the House of Blues or like a real intimate type of environment. Nice. I would definitely see her somewhere like that.
Okay, so yeah, she has her sophomore album coming out. She's trying to figure out if she's going to possibly do her own tour. But I think the question still remains what happened with the last tour. We know she got kicked off, but like for what?
I guess it's a mystery because not only did she get kicked off, but Tamar kicked off too. So,
or did Tamar get kicked off or did Tamar drop out?
Drop out. Which that could be. But Tamar is about to go on tour too.
By herself?
No, I can't remember who she's going on tour with, but I think she announced that she was going on tour too.
She's the headliner?
I don't know. But she could be the headliner.
She could.
She could very much.
Tamar, we know Tamar.
Remember, she said her last album was her last album that she's going to put out. She said she's going to put out singles, but not albums anymore. They always
say that.
They do say that because they say they don't make any money from the albums.
Not now.
Mm-hmm. Not they make money from the singles, and that's it. Mm-hmm. So.
Dang, that's true. Okay, so yeah, no Tamar.
No Tamar.
No Tamar. Which for me, it kind of stinks because I feel like Tamar brings the drama. That's what people not so much want to see, but like she keeps it interesting. She keeps it alive.
It's kind of like
maybe that's why it's dry.
I guess it's kind of like having like a ghost cast member on the show. Like, you know, like when Nene left Real Housewives of Atlanta, it was like, okay, they talked about Nene maybe 1 or 2 episodes, but the rest of the season was not about Nene. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Tamar hasn't been in none of, you know, the first part of the season. Mm-hmm. She's not going to be in this season. So why are we keep talking about her? I mean, of course she's part of the system, but how long are we going to drag this on?
Right.
And when is somebody finally going to say, you know what? Tamar out. Yeah. She done. Let's move on with our lives.
Yeah.
Because she don't want it.
She don't want it. She don't want to be a part of it. And I think Trina kind of alluded to that towards the end of the episode, as she was just saying, I don't know what it's going to take to kind of get all of us back together again. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's just not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. On television.
On television. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the relationships. So Trina mentioned that her and Von are still together. Do we remember Von from earlier in the season? Mm-hmm. Big daddy who looked like he could have been her daddy. Mm-hmm. So they're still together, which is good. And then Toni is talking about her wedding, which it seems like they still don't have a date finalized.
8/18.
8/18. But I'm just thinking like, is it getting pushed back because of the lack of interest from Birdman? Because Birdman does not want any parts of the planning process. And he made that clear. He kept saying, I don't want to have nothing to do with none of that ish.
Well, we'll talk about that in our news and gossip, because I did find an article that was pretty much like, how many times are gonna push it back, sis?
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that in news and gossip. But I definitely think that, you know, if they wanted to get married, Birdman said he's ready to get married 2 months ago.
True.
When they filmed that episode. So if he said he's ready to get married 2 months ago, what's the pushback from Toni? Because now I'm thinking like it's Toni. Because usually the woman takes the initiative to plan it. Because Birdman, he already said all he wants is fried chicken and macaroni and cheese. And just tell him when, and that's all that matters. Tell him when to show up.
Yeah.
But Toni is like, oh, I'm booked and busy. I ain't got time.
Well, and then I also remember Toni kind of gave it to Towanda and I think Tamar. She made it their responsibility to plan it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in order to plan it, they actually need at least a date.
They need something.
Yeah, but I'm just a little alarmed because, okay, number one, Toni can't understand what Birdman says to her.
Not at all.
At all. Like, if you're sitting in close proximity like you and I, and she's having him repeat himself 3, 4, 5, 7, 11 times.
7, 11.
Like, I just don't really know.
Because it's weird because
communication is important.
Very important. And it's like for us it's easy because thank God for the closed caption. So we're like, oh, that's what he's saying. Yeah. But for Toni, she don't have a closed caption.
I know. She was like, I'm sorry, what?
What?
Huh? That's embarrassing.
Like, translator.
With your man?
With your man? How you know he love you, sis?
That is so funny
So
to
we
me.
already know his vow is going to be like real like...
He gonna rap him.
He got to.
Yeah, that is so funny. Okay.
Birdman, do you say I do? All right.
Bad. It is so bad. But I'm just really baffled at the fact that, okay, I understand he doesn't really want to take part in the planning. But again, if your future wife is adamant about you participating and you still refuse, doesn't that say a lot about
the person?
The relationship. And like where their relationship stands?
I think, and to me, they're older too. So to me, older people tend to have probably like shorter engagements. They know what they want, that, and so forth. They've both been married before. But I don't see the spark. You know, I would have been very fine if they would have just remained boyfriend and girlfriend for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no rush to get married.
Right.
Well, apparently there's not because Toni not in a rush.
Right.
So I don't see the spark in the relationship.
No. I don't see it. Well, since we're talking about relationships, let's go ahead and ease on to this special segment. So for those of you who don't know about Mr. J. Lamar, who's a jack of all trades, he's also a legit like relationship expert.
In real life, y'all.
In real life. So tell us a little bit about that, and then we're gonna ask you to go ahead and give some relationship advice. So
yes, I'm a dating and relationship coach. I own a company called WeFindHim.com. So we help you get your man and your life together.
I can actually vouch for his services, by the way.
Yes, she can. And she received it pro bono.
I did.
But we're gonna start a new segment here on Braxton Family Values After Show. It's gonna be called the J. Lamar Relationship segment. So we're going to take a relationship from the show and kind of dissect it a little bit and talk about it and then give them advice, and hopefully they listen because they need a little bit of relationship advice.
And we want your feedback, y'all, because I know some of y'all are also hoping to find the special one. So we want your feedback and let us know if you agree with the advice that J. Lamar is giving, or, you know, even just ask us some questions that he can answer for you while we're on the show.
Yes. So we'll get into the first relationship that we're going to dissect a little bit. We're going to talk about Evelyn, Miss Evelyn. So Miss Evelyn met a man at a baby shower last season. The black card man. Remember the black card man?
He slid that.
He slid a little black card in there. And for months, the man had been trying to get in touch with Miss Evelyn. So he reached out to her daughters. Traci finally gave him Miss Evelyn's number after 3 or 4 attempts. He calls Miss Evelyn. And Miss Evelyn says that she received the call, but she waited 4 days to call him back because that's old school. And she believes she shouldn't call him back right away.
Now, before you give us the relationship advice on that, let me just first say that it's old school, but it still very much so applies to this generation because I'm guilty. And I feel bad because this guy that I'm kind of talking to now, I've been playing the same game. But it's because like I think as women, we want the man to show the initiative first, and that kind of gives us the comfort zone to like, okay, now we can start texting and stuff.
Well, to dissect this particular relationship, Miss Evelyn, he literally had to go through her daughters, then he did not ask for her number once. Traci said he asked for her number multiple times, and she was finally like, okay. So he had to do that. Then he had to actually call Miss Evelyn, which he did. She did not respond. And then she says, well, you know, I called him back in 4 days. But after 4 days of calling him back.
Okay. I was like, what's going on?
But after 4 days of calling him back, after 4 days of waiting for a call back, she finally calls him back.
Okay.
So I just want to we're going to give a quick little relationship advice. Miss Evelyn, you should not have waited 4 days to call this man back. You should have called him back at least, if not that same night, the next day. Because then he would have lost interest. What if he would have lost interest? Because he's like, oh, I did all this. I reached out. She doesn't want me. 4 days later.
Yeah, 4 days is a tad bit too long.
That's too long. I would recommend if you want to play that game, which I hate. There's so many games to dating. I would say 24. There's a 24-hour rule. At least wait. If you want to wait 24 hours and then call the person back, so you don't look thirsty as you people think.
Right.
But 24 hours. 4 days is way too long. Miss Evelyn, shame on you. Shame on you.
Now on the flip side, because you are a man, what does that translate in your mind? I know you said they can lose interest, but are you feeling like if it takes that long for a woman to respond, or anybody, does that to you mean like they're not interested?
They're not interested. Yeah, that just shows like after 4 days, like, oh, not a call back. And Miss Evelyn older, so it ain't like she texting them. You know what I'm saying? And so, Miss Evelyn Braxton's older, so she didn't text him back. So for him, he could have lost interest. And like I said, they're older. So for like an older person like that, your days is kind of numbered.
Yeah. I'm so done. I'm done. Yeah, and like, those who are older, they value the phone calls. So you said, they're not texting back. You should pick up the phone and call. 4 days is a bit excessive.
So Miss Evelyn, I'm giving you some dating advice. Don't do that again. Don't wait. If you meet another man, don't wait 4 days, Miss Evelyn Braxton.
You better hope another one comes.
24 hours max, period.
Okay. Period. All right, next relationship.
Well, that's it. We gonna get one at a time.
Okay, all right. I thought she was gonna talk about Toni's relationship with Birdman, but I guess we'll wait till we'll see how it progresses.
We'll see how it progresses, because right now they not giving us much.
Yeah.
We'll wait on that one.
Okay.
We'll wait. We'll talk about that one next week.
Well, that's it for Jay Lamar's dating advice. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the award that Miss Evelyn received. And I noticed that she was pretty sad that Tamar wasn't there, and also Toni. Now, she understood Toni because Toni was off doing stuff with Birdman, but again, Tamar is just nowhere to be found. And I hate to keep bringing her up, but I just think that it's one of those things that we have to note, that it's one thing if you have beef with your sisters, but your mama is... It's crazy because their beef, of course, stems from Miss Evelyn actually reaching out, or I would say reaching out through media to try to save her daughter, giving too much of her daughter's information to media, thinking that it would save Tamar from her relationship with Vince. And through past experiences, that when a person is in love and the situation is going bad, if they're not reaching out for help, don't help them. Yeah. You can lend your advice, but I feel like she's a mom, and as a mom, you protect your children to no extent. Yeah. So I don't think there was anything wrong with her doing, that's her child. There's anything wrong with her doing that. And I think that Tamar, because she's a mom, she should also understand that you go through any and everything to protect your child. Yeah. So it's kind of sad that she kind of pushes that relationship to her mom to the side, especially her mom being honored. Her mom seemed like she was a great mother to them. They all love and adore her, and it's sad that she couldn't push that to the side to be there for Miss Evelyn. Right. So. Yeah, true. Well, let's... Want to get into the little library real quick? The little library. Hey, AfterBuzzers. Our network produces after shows for nearly all your favorite TV shows, from dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more. There is no network that works harder to serve television fans, and I have to agree. But we need your help, okay? We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional, so you can opt out. So hit that subscribe button now for the channel, and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did so in the comments, and we'll thank you on air. Don't forget, for now, thanks for being the best fans and for helping us to be the ESPN of TV talk. Yeah, so make sure you guys participate in the live chat. We'll make sure to shout you guys out. Also, make sure if you listen to us on a podcast, share with your friends and give us 5 stars. And yes, please comment. We love comments. We love comments. We love interaction. And for episodes like this where we didn't really have a lot to talk about because it's real dry. So we like to hear your feedback to see, what your guys' thoughts are. Absolutely. And see maybe we can help this season progress a little bit. What news you got for us? Let's get into that news and gossip. AfterBuzz TV News. So let's start with Tamar Braxton. So Tamar had a beautiful home in Calabasas. Okay. That was worth about $10.2 million. A beautiful home that she shared with her husband. Well,
estranged husband, Vince, and their child. So allegedly, Tamar was trying to rush the sale of the home, and when she rushed the sale of the home, she actually lost out on $1.2 million because she sold the home for less than what it was worth. But I guess she was just trying to get rid of it, which people tend to do. They do the short sales. But yeah, she got rid of the beautiful, like the house is absolutely beautiful. And it's kind of sad that
it is,
because now she lives in, she has a beautiful condo in downtown LA. Of course, she has a house probably in Atlanta as well. But this is the home. It's a very beautiful home. You guys have seen it, you know, gorgeous, for the first couple of seasons on the Braxton Family Values. Beautiful home. So somebody got a really, really good deal. Like I said, they said the house was really worth $15 million. Her and Vince purchased it for $10. They sold it for $9. So
now whoever got the home, obviously, like you said, got a steal. But do you really feel like they're missing out? Because that might just be chump change to them.
You know what? Probably not. But they said that the house did have a lot of like liens, and they had a lot of liens and fines on the home. Oh. And they were almost into foreclosure.
Oh, really?
I don't think it was a monetary situation. I think it was more so them two going back and forth. Like, well, I don't want the house. I don't want the house. I don't want the house.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So she has a condo downtown now. Do we know anything about Vince's whereabouts?
No, we don't know where Vince at. I don't know if he ain't in that house though. Somebody else in it.
Dang.
They could have ran me that house. I got about 150 on it.
I got $5 on it. That's about all I got. $5 good dollars on it.
Let's get into our next news and gossip segment. So Toni Braxton, as we talked about earlier, she is scheduled to marry. Well, not scheduled. Excuse me. She's supposed to be marrying Birdman sometime soon next year. In 2020, we don't even know. Well, Toni did an article. She sat down and talked to Essence Magazine about why she's holding off on the wedding.
Okay.
And guess what she said?
What?
Girl, she said, we just busy. Period. She said, we are busy. We're both in the music industry. She said, we both have a lot going on. The wedding is a priority to us, but we just don't have time right now.
And you know, that could be the truth.
That could be the truth.
I pray for the day that I'm that busy. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I have to push the wedding back because I'm booked and busy.
You know what? We would just go get married on a Tuesday.
Just elope.
Elope. They can.
Yeah.
But we talked about this earlier in the episode. It seems like Toni is very much so like, oh, we'll just get married whenever. Like, she's not pressed. She's not pressed about it.
She's not pressed.
And Birdman, he seems like he wants it to happen, but he wants her to make the decision. So
yeah. And I think, you know, it's funny that you said, I think that he wants it to happen, and I think she wants it to happen, but I just feel like his lack of participation doesn't make her want to do it right away. Right, yeah. So they're not meeting in the middle.
And that's what it is. And it does seem like she's asking him, like, yo, like she asked him about, let's go taste the cake. He said, I don't want to do it. Do it with your sisters.
You can't taste the cake, Anime.
He said, she asked about flowers. Do that with your sisters. I don't want to do. He don't want to do nothing.
He don't want to do nothing.
So that does make me, if I was planning my wedding and my husband was like that, I'd be like,
it's alarming.
Yeah.
Because if you can't participate in something that you know is one of the biggest days for me, what's that participation gonna be like in the actual marriage? Outside the bedroom.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's the end of news of gossip for today. But I can tell you one thing. I don't think they get married.
You know?
I don't think they get married.
You know, Jay. Oh, I hate to say it because I sincerely want the best for her.
I do. I think that they would be wonderful as just boyfriend.
And yeah.
Like they are beautiful. They're a cute couple. They both been married before. They
you
both
think
have
they're
children.
A cute couple? Yeah. I feel like they're the most awkward. Not the most, but one of the most awkward.
Well, maybe
couples.
this is just a good picture.
But she said they're like yin and yang, and they are. It's just for me. Every time I look at them, I'm like.
But apparently she sees something in him. Like Toni is like she was once upon a time the American sweetheart.
Yeah. And
she rarely had any falls in the spotlight outside of her financial falls.
Right.
That's all we know is Toni failed financially. Other than that, she rarely had any other scandals outside of her bankruptcy and stuff like that. So she grew up as like the American sweetheart. So I don't see nothing wrong with their relationship.
So you think she needs a bad boy now? Is that what you're saying?
I think it would be fun to see her with a bad boy as a boyfriend, not as a husband.
Yeah. I do know one thing. Like you said earlier, that Birdman, he gives off the impression that he'll be the kind of husband that's like you know, he's gonna work and make that coin. What you need? Okay, here's the coin.
Yeah.
Here's this. Make sure the bills are paid. But other than that, he's
He
not
don't wanna do that.
He's not
Yeah.
an active participant in the actual marriage.
Yeah.
But who knows? He might surprise us, you know? And again, this is us from the outside looking in. So he might be a total gentleman and treats her, like you said, the princess that she is.
And let's say Toni Braxton ain't thirsty for love. So.
All right, true.
She'll find somebody.
Well, let's move on to predictions for for next week's episode.
Your AfterBuzz TV.
I'll tell you one thing.
Child,
Before I give my prediction, I'm hoping that it's better than it was this week, the episode, because
that's the best prediction I really got.
and the thing is that we are true fans of the show.
Yes.
And I was so excited to see, you know, what kind of mess we were gonna unravel today, and I got nothing.
But I think it's primarily
dry.
So as we know, like they stopped shooting mid-season. And as we've seen like more of the trailer, we don't see Braxton family values. We don't see the girls.
Nope.
We see Traci filming with Flavor Flav. We've seen her filming with
Natalie Nunn. We saw
Tiffany Pollard,
Kimberly Whitley.
Yeah, like she's filming with all these people.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, are you
like the Traci show?
Yeah. They might. To me, when it came down to it, if you have talent, and WeTV, I hope y'all listen. If you have talent that doesn't want to participate, or they're fighting because they want a longer contract or more money, and you're not going to give it to them, cut it. Traci's very interesting. Cut it. Traci's very interesting. They could have spun the show and called Traci Braxton show.
Yeah.
And guess what? We would have still tuned in.
We would have still tuned in because I did think her story deserves to be told.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that's a good point because she's always been in the shadows of everyone up until this point. And so it's finally like, okay, let's hear what she has to say.
It's interesting because it's like she wants it more than any of them because she hasn't had it.
She hasn't had it.
I didn't know, and I found it on this episode, I didn't know that Trina had a baby first and then Traci had a baby. I thought Traci had her baby and they kicked her out of the group. No, Trina had her baby first, and then Traci got pregnant, and they kicked Traci out and kept Trina.
Is Traci the baby?
No,
she's not. Okay,
Tamar's the baby.
Tamar's the baby. Okay, and who's the oldest?
Toni.
Toni is the oldest. Okay. All right. I was thinking that Traci was the baby. And I'm like, is that why they treat her that way? But no, you're right. It's Tamar.
I think she's the middle child.
Oh, okay.
So we're in the middle, yeah.
Well, I'm rooting for her.
I am too. I'm rooting for Traci Braxton. I really am.
Yeah.
Like I said, I would have rather just seen the Traci Braxton show, and we had fun with that.
Yeah. Prediction though, I'm predicting next episode. Obviously, I'm hoping that we'll hear a little bit more of the story unfold as to why Traci got the boot. We did see a little clip of her saying that one of the sisters said that she was dead to her, that Traci was dead to one of the other sisters. We know who it was, and that's foul. That's foul. So I'm just my prediction is that Traci's gonna finally get to voice some concerns and some issues that she's been harboring for a while, and again, tell her story. What you think?
I'm predicting that maybe we'll hear Tamar on the phone or something, some form of communication between Tamar and a sister, preferably Traci.
Yeah.
Because it's like we can't go on with the show and we keep talking about Tamar and we don't hear nothing.
Silence. Yeah,
and Towanda posted 2 weeks ago. She posted a picture of her and all her sisters and said, no matter what, we good. So, but she's the optimistic sister. Yeah. So
it's really trouble in paradise.
Yeah, it's weird because if you look at all of their social media, nobody promoted the show.
Nobody.
None of the girls promoted the show.
That was alarming to me too because I was, trying to look at stuff and I'm like,
nobody promoted the show. Only Traci.
I should tell y'all a lot.
Traci's the only one that is flying back and forth doing promo for the show.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, WeTV, give her a spinoff.
Give her her own show.
Yeah, give her her own spinoff. Like, just give it to her. Let her have it.
Yeah. I just feel like if this tonight's episode was any indication of what we have to look forward to, we're in trouble.
We're in trouble this season.
Anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more for you next episode. But I am Brittney Q. Hill, one of your hosts of the show. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Brittney Q Hill. It's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Brittney Q Hill, spelled Brittney. Please get the spelling correct. The one and only Brittney.
You guys can find me on all social media platforms at I am J Lamar. That's JLAMAR. Since we want to spell tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching us.
See y'all. That's it.
See you next week.
See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.